Turtle! Hello! Hello! Hello and welcome back, or welcome to Season 2 of Hardcore Minecraft with me, Doom Mountain. Now, you may be wondering, why are we in a different camera angle for this intro compared to all the others? You know, usually it's just me talking with myself and you see all the blurriness of my head moving and that, but no, not this time. The moment we have handed over the reins to my cameraman. Cameraman, you wanna say hello to the people? So as you can see, he has taken the reins of controlling our camera for this bit of an intro because we have some exciting news. Over the last few months, I think it has been, I've been working with a great content creator and skin maker, Bunny Edits, who has for me designed up some new skins, but also a proper skin for my Bedrock character. Now, if I take off the armor so you can actually see, this is my normal skin that I'm always using and have used since day one, I think it was. Sometimes I put on a hat, but you know, this has pretty much been my skin since day one. And well, this is one of those Bedrock self-crafting skin things that you can, get all the pieces and make your character. But I wanted one that, when I jump over and if I start playing a bit on Java or if I start playing on my phone for a little bit or whatever be the case, some of the series you may remember with Athika and myself, we were stuck to being played with classical skins as they're called on Bedrock. So I decided to get some designed up for me. And well, I think using the cameraman would be a great little sort of scene to be able to do, because we can just go up and let's say there, and now we can do a little bit of a transition. So I'll stand here, show off my old skin, and then let's go off onto the new, bit more of a fresher take on the same look. And let's go. Hello everyone! As you can see, I finally did a little bit of a trimming of my beard. I still haven't gone to the dentist. They scare me. They've got like big needles and guys, like just no. So as we can see here, we have pretty much almost a spot on take of the old skin, and I am really happy with how it came up. I just wanted a bit more of a shorter beard and a bit more of a reliable skin that wouldn't, have any problems if the marketplace area went down. But that's not all we did. No. Because I've been talking about, streaming with the Gold Rush and the Goldfields area. So, yep, you've been right. We've also organised. Let me go and do the little run again. We have ourselves a gold. Not a gold digger. A miner's outfit, which, guys, look at this. I wanted it to look like it's been rough. We've been out digging, our clothes are all torn, scuffed, and just look at this one. I am really, really loving it. Honestly, it's a little bit better than my normal skin, not to lie. But this is going to be the skin that we'll be wearing when we're working out in the Mesa biome, doing any bit of, extra Gold Rush themed builds, all that sort of stuff. We'll be bringing in this skin. Now, it is starting to get dark, which is kind of in fitting for the last skin that we've gotten. Now, this was the first one that I got made up, and I just didn't get the time to use it as I wanted to, but I'm sure we'll be able to get it throughout this series at one point. So, let me go back in, get ready for the big run-up, and let's go! Look at this one here. Now, as you can see, this one is a bit more of a wizard theme, and for anyone that may remember not the realm of Midgard, Am I Incorporated? I think that was what it was called. It was one of the old realms that we did after Midgard, which I wanted to be sort of a bit more of on the hunt and search for mythical creatures and working with a bit of magic. So this is a skin that I got made up to sort of be able to use that theme. Oh, I didn't mean for the theme to turn off the lights, but as you can see, we've got here equipped with a nice wizarding robe, as well as a little bit of a mythical, magical potion bottle on my hip here, which contains the essence of the nether, which you may recall was how I lost my life in our first hardcore world. But now, guys, I think let's just go one more change back in to our new skin. Here we go. Here we go. All right, and here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the new skin for my character. Now, the links for where you can be able to go to get a commission through Bunny Edits, or even she has some just standard skin packs which she sells. They'll all be in the description, and I highly recommend that you guys go and check that out. I'll even include the Instagram socials, so yeah, please go and check out. Now, let me sleep away the night, and I think we can get into this episode. Alright guys, we are now here fully armoured up in our brand new skin, and I would just like to sort of show you guys something that I've come to see since this little recent patch update for 1.20, and it's ever since, you know, we've been able to crouch. Like you could see now, we can go into walls, and this is not good because the amount of times that you go in, if you step too far, you start to suffocate. And it's all caused because when you crouch, they've now introduced, have I got some over here? And this bug or glitch all seems to be caused because in previous, updates, we could never crouch and walk underneath these blocks, right? It wasn't going to happen. It just couldn't happen. It was an update, or it was a feature in Java, but never Bedrock. But now, if you see, we can crouch under them. We just walk, crouch, and we're here underneath it. Not a problem. This feature, whatever it is that they've done to the parity fix so that we've got the same as Java, is making it so that we can we get stuck and go through walls. I mean, ooh, I can actually now finally see where our problems lie with all those zombies. But like this, I don't like this because when we're walking around, because it takes a little bit for it to refix itself, so if we're just walking in through our world, going, hello horse, where's your lead, why are you off the lead, okay, but then we run into a tree, look, we're there, and if we're not paying attention where we're running into, we can run into the side of a mountain and start suffocating in it. This is a hardcore world, I don't want that trouble. Okay, that's my rant. Let me show you what I've built between episodes. Alright, with ranting aside and, just typical Bedrock having bugs, let's talk about what I've built in between episodes. And the reason why I did this in between episodes instead of with you guys on camera is because, well, I actually had to use a video to reference this and how to build it up, which was shared with me on my Discord server from one of our other really good sort of Instagram content creators is making up their stuff there, and the name, I'm really sorry, has just slipped my mind now, but they will also be included in the description for links to go and follow, as well as the video for this tutorial here. But what is this farm, you may ask? Well, it's a moss farm, because, well, I wanted to be able to get mossy cobblestone, as we were talking about having this green, maybe possibly changing it all to moss so it was a bit more of a pleasanter look. But it's something that I wanted, and it makes a lot of bone meal. I mean, it doesn't look it right there, but I do need it to be able to turn it on because, well, we have been using it and making it collect up a bit more bone meal for itself, and it's going really, really well. So if we climb up here, hopefully that bug still isn't going and I'm going through blocks because that would be a pain. But if we go up here, you can see that we have a sort of a etho hopper clock set up here, which is I've got that bug, which is controlling these pistons here, which push out, the pistons are all waterlogged and they push out stone, which is being generated by the, lava there, going across, and then we just have moss over here, which is being bone mealed, and I can't do it now. Damn it! We'll be back in a moment. Okay, I just slept. I'm hoping that that'll fix it. Just don't crouch. Okay, so what we have here is the waterlogged pistons and the lava above it make stone. The skill gets pushed out, and please don't fall through. Thank you. If we go up to the top here, you can see that we have just over on this side here. You can't quite see on this side. You can see it on the other side. A moss block, which is bone mealed by all of this stuff, and just keeps creating it. Now, I have completely butchered the explanation. That's why the link for this will be in the description, and that's why I didn't speak it on camera, because yeah, I needed help doing this. So let's turn it on and I'll show you guys what it's about. So as you guys can see here, this bit of moss up the top there is getting bone mealed, and because of the radius of moss being bone mealed to blocks being turned, it's just right here. We are getting all of this stone which is being generated, turned into our moss, the new bits being pushed through, breaking the moss, and it comes in and it's all collected nicely in these chests. Now, I opted to put in a composter behind this chest here, just so that we were also getting bone meal made up at the same time of, getting this whole thing built up. But, yeah, I think this is a really, really good farm, and I'm just happy it's in the world. So, now that I sort of showed you guys what I've done off camera between these two episodes, I'd like to get into the final part, which we'll do because this is going to take a little bit of time, and that is get up our automatic storage system for our witch farm, which we built up last episode. So what I think we need to do is jump over to where our witch farm is, get up all the dimensions and how everything's laid out, and then bring that over to our creative test world so we can build up and get a good feel for the space that we're going to need to build up all of the chests, how many hoppers. Well, I won't know exactly how many, but I'll get the good idea for all of that sort of stuff. And yeah, so I think that might be the way to go about it. So I'll see you guys over in the witch farm area. I really hope that this bug doesn't affect me going through the nether. Jeez. Alright, so it's now time to head through this portal. I'm still experiencing that bug, so I really hope that I don't have any issues. But, let's go through. Let's, okay. God, that was a little bit scary, because, yep, as you can see, dang it. No, I don't like that. Okay. Just try and avoid running into any blocks. Oh, geez, it's gonna be fun. Alright, let's see if we can do it without dying. I really hate this bug. I hope it's fixed by the next episode. Alright, so now over here at our witch farming area, putting aside the annoyance of this glitchy bug, let's get into talking about what we've got over here. Now, last time we set up over here our chest of all the items that we're going to collect, and I missed one. Sticks. I completely forgot that we actually gather up sticks from this farm, probably because I don't know what you use sticks for in potion making, but yeah, so apparently we're also going to be able to collect up those. In between episodes, I came over here and I, collected up a bit more of that nether wart and was starting to plant it around, putting in all this soul sand that we got from, a little bit of an exploration to the fortress last time. But the real reason we're over here now is to set up and get the, parameters for this farm here. So we've got a few witches in there. Let's just quickly clear them out. Now with them all cleared out, we can have a little bit of a look-see here though. Words, a little look-see, and see that we need one below everything to work for this farm. Then we go up and we have a 4x4, which is our trident killer, and that sets up the whole sizing for our tube. Now how high do we go with that glass? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with a cobblestone topping on top. And then how many down is our spawn? Well, it's on sort of this side here, and it's down 3 from the top. So we've got 3 spawn and then 4 down. So with these dimensions, now we can jump over to our creative test world, build up this farm, and then set in place all the little, tanglement sort of sections of the piping, which will be the hoppers, to be able to take all of this stuff and build up our storage system. Now, I have noticed that that bug is affecting hoppers. So I'll include a little bit of a clip here because I have had to do this second take where I discovered that these... What? You see? Holy shit, I don't like this bug. Yeah, if that starts happening, we might need to stop doing this. Did I do it? Oh, I did. Yep. So, yeah. This bug is annoying. Let's just jump over to the creative test world now. So over here now in our creative test world, and we have copied up our whole witch farm. Like, look how simple this is. It's just a tube with a trident killer. But that is all it is. I've come over here, and as you can kind of see, I've put in where I want a bit of like a viewing platform for the floor, so we can come down and do a bit of maintenance and whatnot. Sort of work out best way for the switch, but other than that, it's just, you know, some stairs wrapping it around it and giving it a bit of a floor. Nothing too fancy because, well, it's just a spot to come and view the farm. Now, what we do need is a spot for a way for our items to be able to get from down here to up at whatever level we wish to actually build this storage, and for that we're going to need a bit of an item elevator. So if you see here, we chuck in a few items, they're going to go through here and then get shot up our bubble elevator, which just has a dropper down there with a comparator reading into it. When the comparator says that there's something inside the dropper, it sends off a signal to the sticky piston, creating ourselves a redstone clock with these facing observers, powering this block. Whoops. Powering that block, which is then turning off the redstone signal of this torch, turning off the power from this one, signaling this one, just making a big clicking noise, telling this piston to shoot off at the dispenser. And then everything just goes straight up this water stream and into our chest below. Now that chest below can be seen as being this chest here above, so all of our items have just made it up to the system and they're going through. Now, for a bit more of an effective farm, this will be turned into a water system, like a water slide. Sorry, yeah. So all the items will be sent off down through the water chutes, and they'll run over the top of these hoppers, which, as you can see here, we've built up a little bit of a mechanism to be able to single out the one item we want with a bit of an item filter. So we have the item we need plus 4 fillers, and that way the signal that gets through, if it picks up anything that is, you know, glowstone powder, if I can grab that, and we just chuck it in the chest here, you'll see that all the glowstone powder will end up in this chest. It won't end up in this one because we have it stored for redstone, so let's also grab that, a bit of sugar, and some spider eyes. You see we've got 23 of each, and we put them in, they should all make their way down the bottom. The way that this happens is once the hopper detects that it can pull down something through it, it sends off a little signal which will then, as we can see here, we're over on these ones, it powers it just enough to be able to set off the repeater at the base there and turn off a redstone torch, which allows the items to go through. You can see this is a nice little small snippet here. So we have our main hopper here, which is the item filter, so it tells us what item needs to go in these chests. We have a comparator that reads from it to see if anything's gone into it and send off a signal. Once that signal's made it 3 blocks wide, it goes down this little sort of T-E shape, we get a repeater facing into a block with a redstone torch, which will then unlock this hopper, allowing the items to go through. Now we spin back around, you should see here that we have all 23 in each chest. Now any overfill would go to this one, so for example, if we were to chuck in a redstone torch, well, that didn't have anything to filter for it, so it should make its way all the way to the end. So these are the 3 components that we need to make up our storage system. We've got our farm laid out so we know how everything's going to be underneath it. Then we've got our item elevator to the right of me. God, I can never tell with this screen, but the item elevator here. And then we have our storage system. Now, because we do have some items in this farm which are non-stackable, so that'll be the potions, we will run some sections where it will purely not have any of this part here. It'll all look the same, but it just won't have this back bit so that nothing's getting locked out and locked in of what can and can't go in there. But now that we've got all this set up, I think it's time that we head back over to the hardcore world and start getting some supplies. We're going to need quite a few hoppers, quite a few chests, quite a few comparators and repeaters, as well as some redstone torches and that. So yeah, let's jump on over there now. Alright, back here over on the hardcore world now, and I would love to make an announcement. That whole bug that had been irritating me at the start of all of this episode and everything, I worked out what it was. I needed to update my behavior pack, because with 1.20.11 I think we're on, my my texture pack, or not texture, the behavior pack was no longer compatible. So, yeah, let that be a lesson. If you're using data packs, add-ons, texture packs, you know, all that sort of stuff, make sure you update that as well as updating Minecraft. But with that said, let's now go and gather up our equipment which we're going to need. So I think to be safe, maybe let's take with us 3 stacks of hoppers, 3 stacks of glass, quite a few logs because we want to make some chests. And then as for the redstone, I'm going to take a step back out of that cow render distance. There we go, we're out of the cows. I think that, so we need, there's 7 stackable items that we are going to be sorting out. Now I would like 2 sections for each so that we double that up to 14. So we have to just have 14 lots of each component. So that means we'll need 14 redstone torches, 14 comparators, 14 repeaters, and a lot of redstone dust. But I think that's manageable, so we should be able to gather all of that up, as well as a dropper, piece of soul sand and some kelp so that we can get some water elevator going, as well as what was just 1 sticky piston. So yeah, if we gather all that up, it shouldn't be too hard. So let's start off by going into our woodworker's house. Alright, so I've managed to fill up a fair bit of my inventory here now. We don't have exactly everything that we need to build up this farm, but we do have almost all. Actually, I should probably go grab some glass before we make our last detour down, which is just down here. I'll take you and you. Alright, so now that I've picked up some glass, let's head over and make a start over at our witch farm. Alright, let's head through the nether. And lovely, now we just make our way to the witch farm. Ah, fun. Alright guys, so now we are here over in the witch farm with our items ready to build up the automatic storage system. And now as you can see in our creative test world, this was where the ground level sort of started. So if I got just yeah, let's just use the cobblestone for them now. So here was where those stairs were, and then the floor was like the half step down. That was our viewing platform. Now where I want our storage to be is pretty much in line with here, because this is, if I recall correctly, yeah, it runs exactly in line with the spawning platform, so that we could actually walk up to it and see it from up here. So I think a good idea might be to actually use this as our pathway. Now, it is a bugging me that is a 4x4, not a 5. Yeah, so I think I might make this one bigger so that we can have a 5 wide path, which, let's see what blocks I've got here just so we can make a little template. So let's use this for now. Okay, so just before the sun sets, here you can see now that this is what I mean by having a path. Now obviously these blocks will change because I don't know exactly what block palette I want to use, but I want to know that this is where our floor is going to be. And then we're going to have our chests sort of coming in along at this row here. This now tells me that if we're going to have it like this, and I think it'd be good to double it up so that we could have the chests on either side, probably starting from that point too. I think that might be actually a good pointing there. So with this being here set up like this, we're going to need to bring in our items. Will have to come out, I think maybe over here. We'll shoot them up through the water elevator and then bring them along this channel here. So I think I might quickly sleep away the night, and then I'm going to place in hopefully all of the chests. I'm pretty sure that this should measure out to be exactly what we need for space wise, but yeah, so let me sleep away the night, and when we come back in there should be a whole lot of chests over here. Alright, so I don't think storage is going to be an issue for us over here at this farm. We have 4 pods of 5x5 chests, and yeah, look, I think it's going to be great. We've got 2 sections for everything, so like 2 lots of gunpowder, 2 lots of redstone. Now the glowstone, had to be split between sections, but then we go back into 2 for sugar, 2 for our glass bottles before spinning around. So we're going to try and have to get our water chamber to be able to spin around here, connect up on this side, and then we'll have the spider eyes and lots of 2, as well as our sticks before going into, it's just going to be potions and overfill for the next lot. So there shouldn't be a fear of running this farm and having, you know, an overload of sort of items, because like each item has 10 double chests worth of storage. So if I don't clean this out before that happens, I'm not doing something right. But now that we've got these all in place, it's time to go through and put a hopper in the back of every single one of these chests. So this is going to be a little bit of a time-consuming thing. I hope that I have enough hoppers because I've already had to do one trip back home to get all the chests made up. But yeah, let me just get these all in place and we'll be up to putting in the redstone. So as we can see, I have now gone around and placed hoppers in behind every single chest that we had here, as well as that little extra row along the top, which will be our item sorter. Now this is where we will have that item that we need to be put in, as well as our 4 filler blocks. But before we can put all that in and have it running, we actually need to build up the workings behind it. So I've got some of the amethyst block to use as just a block that I know that this has redstone on it, so don't ever break it or anything like that, just something to stand out. So I think first things first is we need to get ourselves up there so we can start work on it. So let me jump up there now. So this is the hopper that we want to have locked things, so we need it to be red. So to do that, we need to place one along this second hopper. Can I do it? There we go. And then just to make this easier on us, we're just going to run it the whole way along. We don't need one here, so we'll just skip it with dirt and just place it like so. With these on, we can now place in our comparators and run it the whole way down. Now this is where things can get a little bit tricky because we need to go down here one, here one more, and then down one because we need one underneath it. So it might be better off to try and go down from underneath, build up the skeleton shape, and then get this into place. So we need a block here that's going to have our redstone torch onto it, but we also need just a filler block there, one here, because that is going to be where our repeater sits. And then we'll need, just if we can get it while we're here, it'll make everything perfect. Let's climb up, filler block just there with our final last one. Now you can see that we have our easy little pattern to follow, so we can just go up there and rebuild it. So let's do that. And so by coming here, we can just go like this and complete our pattern until we get to the last one, place it in the dirt and repeat it all the way along. So let me get that into place now. So now that we've got the rails in there so we can place in all of our redstone, it's just simply going along, placing in just a double up over here, chucking our repeaters facing inwards towards where the chests are. It's very important for that because otherwise the signal won't work. Then we come along here, run some redstone dust along all of the whatever block you're using as your sort of pillar one, so my amethyst. And then we just come in and finish off the job. Dollop of redstone. And now that's all we need for this sort of item sorter to be able to detect which item is going through and make sure that only the ones that we want to go getting pulled through are pulled through. Now I did also complete this on the other side there, so we've got all of our storage, all of our sorting mechanisms in place. Now I do need to get some ice for the water rail so we can actually get this fully connected. So I just want to see, does this guy here have any? Oh no, you do. And I don't have emeralds on me, do I? Uh-oh. Please stay here. I'm running back to get some emeralds. I'll be back in a sec. We need this ice to be able to finish this build today. Come on, still be there selling the ice. I just got myself some emeralds, right? Oh, up there. Yes. I didn't want to have to go exploring for an ice biome today. Thank you, this is the first time I've ever appreciated your service. Only 6? Alright, now that I managed to pick up a few pieces of packed ice, it's time to actually set up the item sorting system. So we need to take 2 stacks from each chest, or at least 41 items, because, yeah, okay, we might need to go and actually check out in there first, but I'll show you what we do. So we go up here. So our redstone is these 2 chests here. So what we need to do is put in a stack, or just over 41, because this is where it will come to sit at rest, of that item, and then run in 4 blocks that you know will not be put into the system and get confused. So we do this again with the next one, and we run it along. And you see here, I made a mistake because it keeps running. I'm thinking my problem might be this back one. Alright, so let's try that again. I think what it was is because this might be a transparent block or something, properties, it's not powering it enough. So let's see, if we go in here, drop in our stack, run in our 4, No, it's not work. What? This worked in the test world. What did I do wrong here? So guys, this will work if you put redstone torches along those things there. I bet you I didn't even have to break the amethyst. Okay, now that we've put in the proper torches where they need to be, let's try this again. Put in our stack, go along with 4, that should stop at 41. And with our stack, run along with 4. Stopped at 41, it stopped at 41. When you're doing redstone, don't try and rush through it because, yeah, you're bound to make some silly mistakes. So, as you can see, it's that easy to set up the sorting system once you've put in all the parts. I'm just going to go ahead now, put in all the rest. So for gunpowder over here, then we've got glow powder over here and all the rest. So let me just get them into the storage system and then we can start with our item bubble elevator. Okay, so with all of our sorting systems in place and knowing which item they need to be filtering out, I've gone along and put in a bit of a dirt path there so you can see where the pipe will work, as well as leading one up the top. Now I've gone through and placed in 3 of our packed ice blocks in key locations that they need to be. Now there'll need to be one along here and one up in here too where our elevator will be, but I'm not too sure where they are, and because we are limited with the amount that we have and I don't want to go out looking in this episode for an ice biome, we're going to wait till we get all the water paths in to see where it needs to be placed the most. But that means that now we are up to building our elevator. So let me just quickly clear out these witches. Okay, witches cleared out, XP picked up. Now what we need to do is we've got to change the course of these hoppers. So they are empty at the moment. We quickly break off this and that place, and any item that goes in now should be following this path. As you can see up there, that's where I've marked where we want our center of our chute to be. So I just need to kind of follow our path along here. Okay, and as you can see, directly below where we need to be. So our dropper will be placed here facing in and our hoppers will be feeding into it. Now I won't fully connect it up just yet. I'll leave us one short. As you can see now, we've cleared out a bit of space around it, probably more than we need to, but you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. So our first part will be to bring out a comparator so we can see that, yep, we've picked up a few goodies along the way. And this comparator is going to be facing into a sticky piston. Alright, so what we did was we had our piston being pushed out to face the observer, which has a redstone torch sitting on top of it. If I clear out a little space you can see, which is powering this block here, which is powering this redstone dust. Once it turns off, this torch will go on, powering off this signal here, giving us some power into our observer. So if we just go ahead and place in the 5 arrows, as you can see, up they go. Now what we need to do is just fill in some gaps here to make sure that no items can get loosely thrown around. Alright, our soul sand will go here, and then we'll surround this all with glass, running up until we meet up with our line here. So let's just run that through. Alright, and now we have reached the top, so what I want to try and do is place in our water bucket and then grow the kelp up on top of that, so that way we've got all water sources the whole way down. And away we go. So now all of our items should be getting shot up and placed into this section here. So let's grab another water source, because then we need to run our glass all the way down. Alright, so I'm running out of glass, but luckily for us there is some sand over there which is just calling out to be turned into it. And well, I thought we could run off with the first little bit of water to see how this will go. So we just put this dollop here and let that run through. Now that's going to take us all the way to there. Perfect. Now I want to put a lid on top of this because I know that these blocks can get shot up quite high if we don't. So let's head on back down there now and just demonstrate to see that we get items up here. Because once that's done, all I need to do is continue on a glass railing all the way around and we should have a completed farm. So let's see if our items get shot up all the way up to here. Alright, so let's see if we can get these 23 glass panes up the water chute and just sitting on that excess block. Alright, let's go. Alright, it looks like it's sent them all up. Do we have 23? We do. So, this is fully working now. All I need to do is continue on running glass along here, mainly to protect any of the redstone circuit from having it spill out, and then work out where we need to put in our continuation of the ice. So we saw there that we had no problem with our items sliding to here. Now, yes, so this is where we'll now need to introduce bringing in a button that we'll place over here, and then we'll be continue on our water source. We need to see how far that will stretch along. So let me just quickly grab another water bucket, and then we'll do this experiment together, and then I'll jump off and finish doing the little glass railings. All right, got an extra little bit of water. Let's place that in. How far is that going to spread us? All right, so I am going to want to put a button here to make sure that it continues on the way. Just so it's a bit just so it's a bit more of a safer flow, because we can break the water on the ice and the item will still sliding. We break our water stream over a hopper like we had just here, we can see. If we were trying to break it over here, the water wouldn't continue on enough for the items to keep picking up through. Also, a great example of these items won't pick up the button because they're not designed to filter it. So we're just going to have to go along here and continue on all of this and get it all set up so that it just continuously flows through with our items. So let me get that all done and then we can wrap this up. So with a little bit of time now passing by, I've been able to complete our glass water paths, as well as place in where I believe that our packed ice should be going, to ensure that all items continue a nice consistent flow around the farm, so that way they can get into each of their sections where they could be sorted, and everything's just nice and evenly spread out. Now it's time to run a bit of a test, so I think we go on down here past my little bit of a janky dirt road. We click on the hopper here. Let's just see the 5 arrows. Now if this works, we should see our arrows being shot up in the waterway, making their way up and along, and then they should land into this first non-sorted system. So there's our arrows there. We can see them making their way across. Now, did we get all 5? Perfect. So I think that means we have finished our storage sorting system, and we can go ahead and connect up the hoppers. Whew. Okay, nothing's in there yet, so we got enough time to place in, turn on our trident killer. Away we go. We should see mobs dying, items going up and in. There we go. Look at that. Now I think I saw some sugar coming in, which is over here. Yep, there we go. It's coming all in through the sorting. Oh, lovely. Absolutely lovely. Alright, so with that now successfully being connected up, we have our witch farm built up from last episode, and we now have our automatic storage system for this farm working away quite happily at the moment, I must say. You can see items drifting on over the bridge above us to be able to get into their right spot, and yeah, like, these storages are just always so great to build up when you remember to place in those redstone torches. But with that said, guys, it is the end of this episode. I hope you all have enjoyed it. I hope you found it a little bit interesting, being able to see the breakdown of building up the actual item sorter, as well as seeing our brand new skins designed by Bunny Edits. And don't forget, I will include the link to her in the description if you guys want to pick up your own custom skins. But guys, I hope you have all enjoyed this episode, and until next time, bye!